Well, folks, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon to you from beautiful Long Island, New York. Like in the previous golden days, I'm not in my office. The city, New York City, is still in this horrendous lockdown. We were the first ones probably in the country to implement this lockdown that resulted in countless number of casualties as far as the businesses are concerned. So I'm transacting business nowadays from my beautiful home on Long Island. This is Gene Panasenko, your favorite, hopefully, host in this segment of podcasts and YouTube channels. Straight and unfiltered. That's the channel. So welcome back to my existing clients and audience, and hopefully we're getting some new faces and new listeners here. So we are fortunate to have a great man today, Joe Apfelbaum, whom I have known personally for over 10 years. And I can attest to the fact that this man has been delivering nothing less than amazing, extremely compelling performance. His company actually has been rated by a number of publications as one of the fastest growing companies in the country, not just locally here in New York City, where Joe is based with his company. He actually owns two of them. So Ajax Union, that was the original company. And then down the line, as an evolution, he developed another company, which is Evergreen. So they really focus on LinkedIn training programs and seminars. Joe is also an accomplished writer. He just came out with a third book that we're going to talk about more in depth down the line. But this is Joe Apfelbaum. Joe, welcome to the channel.
Thank you so much for having me. Really appreciate it. Excited to be here.
Well, it's my pleasure. Again, I know we've been trying to put it on our calendars for quite some time, but between your engagements and my involvement, in different kind of things, we had to postpone it over and over again. So happy holidays to you and yours, by the way. And congratulations on this spectacular growth of your companies now in plural. I still remember clearly those days where the whole thing was still in the inception stages many years back. If you remember that place, Prana Restaurant, where nights, nights were your nights, I believe Tuesday nights, hosted by yourself and your crew, your associates. And I know that I personally benefited tremendously by learning a lot from those presentations, but more importantly, really meeting people. And those were really great days that a lot of people don't realize how valuable those personal face-to-face meetings were until disaster hit us. And like I said, for the last 9 months, Manhattan is 85–90% empty as far as the office space is concerned. And the people have really no chances of going to the live face-to-face events, attend different kind of seminars, presentations, that you are hosting, that I've been hosting, chambers of commerce, consulate generals, Yale Club, Harvard Club, all those wonderful venues, they just shut down. And as far as, I can see, there is no really immediate light at the end of the tunnel. So it is more critically important that at any point in the past that somebody with your expertise really brings value to the clients and allows them how they can not only grow the business, but for a lot of companies which are still fortunate to be in business, how they can just stay alive. So you're really throwing them the line, if you will, to keep their businesses going by sharing your expertise that spans over the course of what now, 10, 11 years in this area?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. So
yeah, it's exciting. I remember when we met, we were just starting to get go with Ajax Union. And we were fortunate enough to double our company in revenue every single year for many years in a row. And we ended up being number 178 on the Inc. 500. And we continue to evolve as a company. The magic word this year is pivot or the new normal or becoming essential. So figuring out exactly what we need to do to be essential for businesses, for companies. Now, when we started our business, we were very focused on tactics like doing search engine optimization, doing social media management, sending out emails on behalf of customers. But as we grew as a company, we realized a lot of companies are missing strategy. They say the right strategy will save you a decade. And if you're missing strategy, it's energy without strategy is a waste of time. You can't expect to get results from marketing if you're just throwing stuff at the wall and hoping that something will happen. The key is, instead of hoping, have an actual strategy, which figure out your goals, make sure you understand who your target market is, figuring out your messaging. As a company, that's a great foundation to be able to then create content, assets, lead magnets, landing pages, email automations based on a solid foundation instead of just doing it randomly, setting up a website and hoping for the best. If you're going to be investing in advertising, it's important to have a really great foundation where you understand what your customers are worth to you, the lifetime value of a customer, your cost per acquisition per customer, what your bandwidth is, who your most ideal clients are, who is the decision maker, influencer, buyer, user within an organization, and then what are their emotional and logical needs, pains, goals, all that type of stuff. So we help companies organize all that information, write it all down in a marketing strategy, create briefs, and then create content, landing pages, email automations, lead magnets, case studies, everything that they need in order to take people from the top of the funnel to the bottom line.
And that's excellent, Joe. Thank you for sharing or reinforcing that with me and sharing with our audience. What really draw me to your business model and your personal and business approach when it comes down to working with the clients is that unlike many other people in this space, you really take your time to sit down and learn about the clients, where the client stands today, but more importantly, what the client would like to be down the line. I mean, the word holistic is really beat to death, I would say, over years and decades. Everybody, you know, and the mother in this world nowadays, they're using that word holistic and comprehensive, but very few people actually deliver that in whatever marketplace they're competing. So what really impressed me when I attended your, several presentations, but more importantly, when I've been getting a feedback from many of the small business clients that, again, we're both advising, but you're advising on your end. I advise them as a financial advisor and wealth manager and the risk manager, is the fact that you really utilize the same concept that attorneys and wealth managers normally do, where you're really trying to sit down and understand very extensively what a client stands, what a client would like to be, and that way you can help them setting up realistic goals. So I really would like you to expand and speak more extensively about that.
Yeah. So one of the things that I've learned over the course of the years is that being afraid of giving away your best secrets is a recipe for failure, recipe for disaster. You see, in order for someone to trust you, they have to learn from you, especially when you have something that needs a tremendous amount of consulting. So before you start working with somebody, you have to start working with them. You might be like, what are you talking about? How could you start working with somebody before you start working with somebody? My best customers are customers that I start advising them way before they ever pay me anything. And the reason they want to hire my firm is because they've gotten so much value from our relationship, from our conversations, from me being a trusted advisor from them. If you're listening to this right now, ask yourself, how much of a trusted advisor am I really to my relationships, to my contacts, to my connections, to my prospects, to my leads? Am I just trying to make a sale or am I trying to add value? If you focus on adding value, you're going to make not just sales, but also get referrals. I was speaking to a financial advisor recently, and he advised me about something you can do with stocks, which is if the market drops tremendously and you have an ETF that's tracking the S&P 500, well, you can sell that ETF and buy a different ETF that tracks the same thing, and then you can have your losses carry them over into the future because you bought another and still get the benefit of when it goes up because you just basically sold one ETF, bought another ETF, and they're both tracking the same thing. Very powerful, very interesting strategy. And there are many other strategies that I get from people, everything from insurance to mortgages to real estate. And I have conversations with them. And the people that are generating the most revenue, the people that are getting the most referrals, the people that are getting the most clients are people that are giving advice. They're adding value and they're learning about their customers first, because SEO is not going to work for everybody. PPC is not just going to work for everybody. Email marketing is not for everybody. So in order for me to be able to tell you what's going to work in your business, I first have to figure out who you are and what are you trying to achieve. Are you looking for branding? Or are you looking for direct marketing? Are you looking for business to business marketing? Or are you looking for B2C, business to consumer, e-commerce? What are you trying to accomplish short term and also long term? I was speaking to a guy who has a company has over 3,000 clients, but 80% of his revenue comes from 20% of his clients.
And what
And so I
happens if he loses a chunk of that premier level clientele? Then his business is going to be probably decimated, or as a minimum impacted in a major, major way.
Right. So I asked him, if you want to be able to double your business, do you need to double your client base from 3,000 to 6,000, or do you need to get the right 200 customers? And he was like, oh my God, Joe, you opened my mind, because I don't need to have another 3,000 customers. I just need to be more strategic with the types of companies I'm going after. And if I add 200 or even 100 of the right customers, I can double my revenue and also triple my profit, because you don't need to create tons more fixed expenses in your business to be able to scale the right way. And if your goal is profit, then you need to focus on strategy, because lots of companies are able to increase their top line very, very quickly by just being the lowest cost provider and by not having profit. But what's the point of growing your business from 1 million to 10 million or to 100 million if you can't generate any profit? If you're just thinking about the top line, then yes, if you're a public company, that maybe that makes sense. But the bottom line produces something called cash, and cash is king. And cash allows you to keep growing. Cash allows you to be able to not get closed down because of a pandemic. Cash is very powerful. So we like to create smart strategies based on the goals of our clients. And once we understand what you're trying to achieve, then we can test out different things that worked for some of our other clients, because we've serviced over 1,100 companies, and then figure out, okay, what's going to work for you? Is it Facebook and Instagram ads? Is it email automation? Is it creating the right lead magnet on your website? What technologies do you need? And so going through all this will allow us to be able to properly serve you. And you know what? I can give you lots of advice. And maybe the advice is to hire a full-time marketing person in-house. Maybe the advice is to get an assistant or a freelancer to help you, and you don't have to hire an agency. I don't need every customer, and neither do you. You don't want every customer. Some customers will pull your hair out and they're not worth it. Some customers are just not right for you. So the best thing you can do is turn away the wrong customers and make room for more of the right customers.
Those are excellent points you're making, Joe. And the fact that you are willing and you actually have been providing advice to many prospective clients that see the value, it really allows you to differentiate yourself amongst dozens, if not hundreds, of other companies which are barraging those prospective clients, trying to get their business, and a lot of them, they sound the same, which is not always the best. But by being able to really provide something that the client can use immediately and hopefully show that the benefits of doing certain things in a certain way will allow you to step above the ground, and that's how you end up getting business. And then the number you mentioned, 1,100, I mean, that's extremely, extremely compelling number. A lot of businesses, let alone the new businesses like yours, well, by now you're mature on the Ajax end, but with the LinkedIn marketing, training corp, then obviously it's still relatively young, but to be able to expand so dramatically fast, I mean, it really gives you a lot of credibility, and you explain the reasons. The line that you used, I find it interesting, know your client, but as a financial advisor who has been doing this for the last 24 years, that's one of the major SEC and FINRA regulations, know your client. Providing an advice without understanding the client and his or her needs is really a malpractice, where the people, get disciplined, they lose their licenses. You don't have to deal with that bureaucracy on your end, very fortunately, at least at this stage. The industry is not nearly as regulated as financial services business, but at the same time, you are front running, if you will, the industry, and you're putting the client's interest ahead of yours, understanding, hey, if Joe and his company and his team deliver the best results for the clients, then obviously the rest is going to be taken care of.
I just had a conversation with somebody for this product, for Evergreen, and we were talking about whether or not it makes sense for him to invest in our coaching, in our course, with all our frameworks and cheat sheets and
Right.
checklists and all that stuff. And I told him, I don't think that this program is right for him. And he's like, whoa, why isn't this course right for me? I said, because you're an ADD entrepreneur and you're not going to watch it. and you're
Right.
not going to, and you don't have time to come to our coaching sessions. So this is not for you. And also I told him, you're selling a $90 product. If you're on LinkedIn and you're close a deal and you get a $90 customer, was it worth your time?
Right.
No, it wasn't worth your time. You need to focus on advertising and e-commerce and Facebook ads. That's what you need to do in order for you to be successful in your business. In this business, if your client is worth more than $1,000, then this would be ideal. If your client is worth 10,000, 50,000, 100,000, if one client makes you $100,000 in revenue, then this is the course you need to take in order for you to learn how to go from a lurker to an influencer, build that credibility, build that exposure, have more conversations, and generate more revenue. But most people, it's not for them. Did you know that most human beings are not on LinkedIn? Somebody said, Joe, who is even on LinkedIn? I said, LinkedIn is the professional social network that has the most millionaires from any other social network. And he's like, why is that? I said, because it's professional. Facebook might have more users from all over the world. They have billions of users, but LinkedIn has 700 million members, and all their members are actually professionals, because you can't be anonymous on LinkedIn. If you try, it's not going to work. On LinkedIn, you see where you worked before and who your mutual connections are and who else works at your company and what you've done and what people say about you. You can't see that on Instagram. You can't see that on Twitter. You can't see that on Facebook or on TikTok. That stuff doesn't work on Snapchat. It only works on LinkedIn. So LinkedIn is a place where you can build a tremendous amount of credibility and be networking with people that are in the position to invest thousands, if not tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars with you and your business. So who is LinkedIn the best for? Coaches, consultants, advisors, entrepreneurs. If networking is right for you, if referrals are the way that you generate business, LinkedIn is the best place to get referrals if you learn how to use it. And if it's not for you, then go on Instagram, go on Facebook, go have fun, go make friends, go chill with your family. But if you like networking, if referrals are important to you, if you want to have more conversations, learn how to do it properly, because random acts of networking are not going to get you results. When I built Business Events NY to have over 5,000 members, that's what you were talking about.
Right.
We were doing events all over. We had 1,000 people RSVP to each event. That was fabulous. But a lot of the people that were coming to those events were doing random acts of networking, and they were just showing up and throwing up. Instead of spraying and praying, instead of showing up and throwing up, show up and follow up. And the best way to follow up is by using LinkedIn. And if you understand how to use it, that's the key.
It is so true, and the numbers you just mentioned, well over 700 million of professionals. Again, the keyword professionals. You're looking at business owners, you're looking at corporate executives, attorneys, CPAs, advisors of all the types and categories. To me, it's amazing. There is so many people. They spend literally years and decades of their life on meaningless applications. And then you mentioned pretty much every one of them, from TikTok to Instagram to what have you. And yet they don't have any presence on LinkedIn, or if they do, it's basically a dead profile that they never log into. So to me, it's like, what the hell are you doing? Why are you wasting your time? If you're looking to connect with professionals or the people that may become eventually your clients, then LinkedIn is the best application. And that's why when I've heard that you launched that Evergreen company, which really focuses on training. So I thought that that's a great help to not just the local community here in the New York and tri-state area, but you, out of those 1,100 clients that you mentioned to me, I know you're dealing all across the US, right? You have clients from east to west.
So 1,100 clients is just for Ajax Union. This
Right.
company, we've serviced over 500 just in the past year, and our goal is to serve over 10,000 coaches, consultants, and entrepreneurs in the next 5 years. And what we're doing is we are teaching people life skills, practical skills that give you business results. We had somebody join our coaching and join our program, and within 2 months, he closed two $75,000 deals. This is real results. And these results happen from conversations that people have. Now, if you're a financial advisor, if you're in real estate, if you're a lawyer, if you're a business
CPA.
consultant or
Yep.
CPA or anything like that, and I asked you where you get most of your business, chances are you're going to say referrals. And if I then ask you how many conversations, how many networking conversations have you had in the past month, you would probably answer not enough. My goal, and I hit this goal every single year because of LinkedIn, is to have 1,000 conversations every year. Now you might say, Joe, 1,000 conversations? That's a lot. How are you going to have 1,000 conversations? It's very simple. 5 15-minute conversations a day. 5 conversations a day is 20 a week, 80 a month, 1,000 a year. That adds up. And when I finish every conversation, I schedule my next conversation with that person because I don't just show up and throw up. I show up and follow up.
You follow up,
So,
and I can attest to that. Yes, absolutely.
yeah. And so the key is to have a follow-up process and learn the process of sending direct messages. Learn the process of how to post in a way that the algorithm will show your post to the max amount of people. I see a lot of people posting the wrong way on LinkedIn. They don't know what, they're not doing it properly. So that's what we teach inside our course. And then we coach you live a few times a month. And all of our students that join our course get lifetime access to coaching, because a lot of people sell courses online like Grant Cardone, Tony Robbins, whatever it is. But just buying a course and watching a course is not enough. Just getting masterclass and watching a course is not enough. You need to join a community to have accountability. We have the largest community of engaged LinkedIn users, of active, engaged LinkedIn users that have all taken our course, that are there to network. They're there to build relationships. I know you've come to our events when they were in person. Now our events are virtual.
Everything is shut down, so there is no options but to join you virtually. Absolutely. And a lot of people, they really need to join them because, as we both know, again, the city's in a lockdown, is going to last for indefinite amount of time. Even when the vaccine comes, and the immunity for the businesses against, lawsuits, potential lawsuits from multitude of potential clients or existing clients, are in place, it's still going to take many, many, many months, if not years, to really go back to the same level where we unfortunately fell from, about 9 months, 10 months back now here in New York and in the US overall. So if the people are looking to really, keep their businesses going, let alone expand the existing businesses and hopefully, learn something new and the best ways to really maximize the potential, then I think your company is really offering a great value proposition. Many people, they're probably wondering, Joe, what is the commitment as far as the time, do I need to sign up for, days or weeks? How long does the training course take? You mentioned obviously the follow-up, which is something that I feel strongly differentiates you from multiple, gurus out there that, again, have the prerequisite of really selling you their course without any kind of follow-up. And I personally can attest that I know people, smart people, attorneys, and CPAs and advisors and what have you, business owners, executives, they feel great because for that, Christmas or Hanukkah, time of the year, they're buying themselves that course. And guess what? They throw it, and that's the same FedEx or UPS or Amazon package without even unwrapping it, but they feel good because they think, well, my New Year resolution is going to be, and we know where it ends nine times out of 10. So the follow-up is critically important for somebody which is looking not only to get educated over the course itself, but hopefully to get some coaching and guidelines going forward. So you want to talk about that?
Yeah. So I would recommend, so the question is, how long should someone invest in LinkedIn in order for them to be successful? So I always recommend investing at least 15 minutes a day of proactive time. Now, there's a difference between reactive and proactive. Being on the feed is reactive. Responding to messages that people send you, like sales reps sending you messages,
Meaningless, yeah.
that is reactive.
Oh, it is reactive. Okay.
It's reactive. Proactive is doing things that you initiate, not that you're responding to. I want you to begin the conversation. I want you not to just be on the feed and react, but I want you to learn how to post the right way, to learn how to engage the correct way that builds credibility. I want you to learn how to send messages. I've sent over 3,000 messages in the past week alone. And people are like, Joe, how do you get people to watch your presentation? If you go to ajaxunion.com, I have a great presentation for you to watch about the marketing funnel.
Right.
And the way that I get people to watch it is using LinkedIn. And if a person watches my presentation, then they get 12 follow-up emails automatically over the course of the next month and a half. And those 12 follow-up emails will help me identify if it's a potential client for Ajax Union. And that helps me close business that are deals that are over $100,000 in revenue for my agency. The way that I do that is I use LinkedIn, and you can use LinkedIn too if you understand how to get exposure, if you understand how to get credibility, if you understand how to have and build those conversations. If you know how to do it using our course, you can learn how to do that, and that will help you be able to grow your business, generate more revenue, have a pipeline of qualified leads, but you don't need to spend your whole day on it. You can spend 15 minutes a day doing it correctly. I have 2 assistants that are helping me. That's how I was able to send out 3,000
Right.
messages last week. But you don't have to do that. You don't have to hire full-time assistants to help you out. You can spend 15 minutes a day and still get results. Maybe you're not going to generate millions of dollars from it, but if your goal is to get one new client that'll pay you a couple $1,000, this course will help you get many clients. We have a LinkedIn trainer that recently signed up to the course. She teaches people LinkedIn, and she said the stuff that you teach in your course and the coaching is really next level. Like, I didn't know any of this stuff, and now I can apply it for my clients. And as a result, within the first 2 months, she closed 2 $6,000 a month retainers during a pandemic. We had another guy, Barry from Canada. He came to us at the beginning of the pandemic in March, and he said, Joe, I just lost 100% of my business. I need to figure out how to get new business.
Right.
And so we offered him the course. He invested, even though it was much more Canadian than it was American. He invested in the course. And I just spoke to him a few weeks ago. He said, Joe, I'm at 100% capacity because of LinkedIn, because of the stuff we learned in your course.
In a matter
I'm
of
at
just the last few months since he signed up for the course.
100%. So if
That
you want to be able to learn how to use LinkedIn the right way, the right strategy will save you a decade. And I want you to understand that. And not only that, a lot of courses you purchase, you buy them and then you don't do anything because
right.
they don't offer live coaching. We give you lifetime access to live, in-person, virtual coaching where you join in a group setting and you see other people there and you ask your questions, and we personalize every single question till the end of the coaching session. So nobody leaves without an answer. So if you want to understand how to leverage Sales Navigator, if you want to understand if you should be paying for LinkedIn, why your post didn't work, how to get people on the phone, how to be able to connect with the right person, what's the best connection message to send, should you accept or not accept a connection request, how to use LinkedIn to find email addresses from people that you're not even connected to, like all the different hacks, what's the best softwares to use, how do you use graphic design with LinkedIn, like anything you need to learn what to do, we'll teach it to you either with the pre-recorded videos inside the course or the live group coaching sessions that happen a few times a month. Very powerful.
It really is. What is the commitment? How long is the course itself for the people who would be interested in getting in touch with your company and learning
You
about
can,
it?
so the course is about 9 hours itself, and it's 15 minutes a day for 90 days. So it's 9 hours of content, plus you have to come to the live coaching sessions that happen twice a month for an hour each.
Right.
So your commitment is 15 minutes a day, and then twice a month for at least an hour joining the coaching sessions. Or you could watch the recording of it if you miss it. But the key is that if you can't invest 15 minutes a day to learn, if you can't invest 15 minutes a day to learn and implement something, then LinkedIn is probably not going to work for you because you don't have the time. So a lot of our students, what they do is they learn how to do it, and then they hire an assistant for an hour a day
Right.
to do it for them.
Right. It definitely makes a lot of sense. Well, again, it really is a very compelling strategy, and everybody can and probably should be looking into how they and their businesses can benefit from it. But especially, again, in this kind of environment where pretty much everybody's forced into remote, type of business. But again, you cannot really prospect. Everybody's sitting in their own, home office, most of them at least. And as you said, hey, some of them, they lost up to 100% probably of their client base because of the environment, lockdowns, whatever else has been going through. We have been going through over the last 9-10 months in the country. So it really is a very compelling way to expand your horizon, so to speak, and really reach out to a lot of potential audience that will be hopefully generating some extra additional revenue to your business. Definitely makes a lot of sense. Let's switch gears for a few minutes, if you will. Again, we have known each other for almost 10 years now, over 10 years actually. And I remember you when you looked different and you probably felt different. When I look at you, I can't help but thinking about, hey, sound mind, sound body, sound business. So can you please speak about your own personal development, success story, organization, focus, discipline, all of the above to accomplish what you have been trying to accomplish on a personal basis, how you became really obsessed with physical fitness. Every time I see, you have that Fitbit, on your wrist, you're really to the level of being almost paranoid, but it's a healthy paranoia, I would say, counting the number of paces you're logging over the course of the day, which transform into calories. And again, overall fitness, physically, mentally, business-wise. So can you share with our viewers, because we're speaking not just about how to stay in business and be successful in business, but how to be more positive in life, how to be more accomplished, on a personal basis as well.
Yeah, absolutely. One of the things that when I grew my business, one of the big issues that I experienced was focusing only on my business, but not on my own personal development, not on my own personal health. So although I was growing the top line, I was also growing my belly. I gained 10 pounds every single year. And eventually I was 265 pounds and I didn't have any more energy. They say that you use up all your health to grow your wealth, then you end up using all your wealth to grow your health. And for me, I didn't want that to happen. So I knew something needed to change. I knew that I needed to look at my diet and look at my routines, but I didn't even know where to begin. So I read some books and I did some research and I realized that I can do this if I put my mind to it and put my focus to this and put my energy to this. So I actually went on a journey and I use Facebook as my accountability, my Facebook family, the people on Facebook. And I actually posted, I said, I need help. I need help. I need to lose weight. I don't know what to do. And someone suggested that I do a like campaign because I'm a marketer and I like attention. I said, I will run 1 minute per like. And then I got 10 likes on that post. And I've never really received any likes because I was always afraid of my own shadow.
Right.
And so I started getting likes, and then I took a picture of myself and I took a video of myself and I posted it on Facebook. And then before you know it, I got 15 likes and then 20 and then 30. And before you know, I was getting 70 likes on each post that I would post about me running.
That's
and
amazing.
People were following me, leaning on the edge of their seat to see if I would continue. And because I had all that exposure and all that attention, I started taking it very seriously because I knew it would impact people. And people were telling me, Joe, I didn't want to go for a run, but then I saw you running. And so I started running and it changed my life. And I became a runner and I'm running a marathon. And so many people reached out to me telling me that I changed their life from just sharing my weight loss journey. And so since then I lost 95 pounds. I wrote a book called
That's incredible. A lot of people would struggle to lose a fraction of that number. So congratulations. That's fascinating.
Thank you. So I feel really, really good about the impact that I've made. I feel really good about the book that I created called High Energy Secrets, How I Lost 95 Pounds and Kept It Off. But
It
what you
just
were
came
saying,
out, right? It just
uh,
got
so
published.
so I just published my third book. So that was my first book. I just published my third book called High Energy Purpose, How to Be All In on Your Life. Even during a pandemic, there are certain things that you can do to be all in mentally and emotionally.
Right.
And so in this book, High Energy Purpose, I basically talk about the concepts of awareness, of boundaries, of agreements, of our ego, of strategy, all that type of stuff. Very, very powerful stuff. So I'm excited about sharing this information with the world because I believe that I can help hungry entrepreneurs go from frustration to motivation. And if you're not motivated, if you're not excited, if you're not living a life that's on purpose, if you're not totally in on your life, then you're going to regret the life that you're living. And the last thing you want to do is have regrets.
It is so true. A lot of people, they hibernate for years and decades and the bulk of their lives. And it's very unfortunate because, again, wishful thinking is just wishful thinking. But at the end of the day, unless the people are willing to make those steps and make a commitment and come with a realistic, plan of getting from point A to point B to point C, which again, money is not everything, but money definitely does allow people to accomplish a lot of things, from, sending their kids to school, to securing, happy lives, nice vacations for their families, hopefully early retirement in decency, as opposed to just agonizing and really counting every penny. So that's what the whole thing is about. Just be happy, be healthy, enjoy your life, utilize and leverage your relationships, and help other people and get paid in the process. And in my opinion, hopefully most of the people will agree, it's really a very sound, very compelling plan to follow. So absolutely, Joe. I know that one of the lines that I've heard a few times, were the rap lines. So do you still use them? Do you want to share with our audience before we wrap it up today?
The rap lines. You mean
You rapped, yeah. You
my
rapped.
actual rap. Oh yeah. I could definitely share rap. Let me see if I could find a nice little beat. Let me see if I can find a nice little beat for you.
That's fine. Yeah, don't mean to put you on the spot, but
No. I love it.
Always would burst into applause. Enjoying that coming from you. So
Yeah, no, absolutely. So
whenever you're ready.
Can you hear me? Can you hear the beat?
Yes, absolutely. It's coming across.
Here we go. Let's get in flow with Gene. Yo, my name is Joe and I'm the LinkedIn pro. Everybody out there, they just want to flow, but they're not showing, they're not growing, they're not posting. They're just sitting and waiting for things to happen. Don't wait for things to happen. Instead, you gotta be posting and engaging, getting everybody all the raging, because when you like, your posts will spike. Get involved. Let me show you how to do it as I drop the mic. My name is Joe, Joe, with the right strategy. We're here with Gene, making it happen. Do you know what I mean? Yeah,
Excellent.
Here we go.
Joe. What a treat for the audience. Again, that was completely spontaneous, so I truly appreciate it. I know I'm just as excited as I was, when I was listening to it live, face to face at several presentations that you have delivered here in New York City. So I know you're pressed for time, so I truly appreciate you coming to join us and the audience. I would like you, before we wrap it up, I would like you to share with our viewers and listeners, because it's distributed on all the major podcast platforms, from Spotify to Anchor to iTunes and what have you. We're going to post information on the bottom of this YouTube channel, but please, before you sign off, please share with the clients or potential folks how they can get in touch with you.
The easiest way to get in touch with me is to go to my LinkedIn profile. Go to www.joelinkedin.com. And I'd highly recommend you read my About section. And in my About section, I have the latest information about Evergreen, about Ajax Union, about my book, High Energy Purpose, that you can purchase on Amazon. And just check out www.joelinkedin.com.
Excellent, Joe. Thanks again for taking the time out of your super busy schedule and sharing those wonderful pearls of wisdom. I do hope that our audience has been inspired, by your multiple successes, and hopefully you're going to get some new connections to add to your tens of thousands of very, very, very successful and qualified contacts on LinkedIn. So blessings to you and yours. All right. Happy holidays and happy and healthy and very successful new year. All right.
Thank you very much.